Song content transcends lyrics for an audience. Just his performance hits your soul and heart. That makes a terrific singer. Robin Zander's unmistakable voice burns through a Cheap Trick concert with quiet passion and piercing truth. One word from I Want You to Want Me or the flame's soaring tone can easily identify him. Avoid excessive showmanship. As Cheap Trick's vocalist, Zander and his colleagues have led millions of listeners through more than 50 years of unforgettable music. He's not as complex as Freddie Mercury, wild as Axl Rose, or melancholy as Kurt Cobain, but he has uncommon strength. A tenor voice that sounds like working-class America. Honest, passionate, and unbending. His career has been consistent. Not because it was simple, but because Robin Zander never loses fans. The ones that adore music for its melodies, memories, and honest passion. His stillness makes him a mystery amid rock's violent world. How could an artist without controversies, startling declarations, or dramatic exits march through music with such strength? Robin Zander, the silent defender of American rock, is our subject. Early life. Robin Zander was born in Beloit, Wisconsin, to working-class parents on January 23, 1953. His childhood and attitude were developed in Loves Park, Illinois, a sleepy neighborhood where people got up early for work, watched baseball in the evenings, and spent winters buried in snow. Robin's favorite childhood memory was rising up early to shovel snow with his father, which he quipped now haunts his dreams. Despite his family's lack of talent, the house was constantly full of music. Robin heard his first rock and roll on local radio, while his mother liked classical and country. He was captivated by the Beatles, Byrds, and Elvis Presley since elementary school, which impacted his taste and purpose. Robin learned guitar at 12 to play love songs and wow classmates, not for fame. But the tiny boy with an acoustic guitar stood out quickly. His soaring, sweet tenor voice was unique at that age. Teachers noticed. Robin never gave up his guitar when friends persuaded him to establish school bands. In high school, he played in local bands at parties and community events. Robin swiftly established an instinctual, not flashy, not overdone, yet emotionally on-point performing manner while young. Robin knew he would live via music, not for fame, but because he couldn't live without it. His peers considered college or solid employment. Robin Zander joined the music business quietly with a modest upbringing, a strong sense of independence, and an unwavering devotion. But that humble arrival provided a delicate but steady foundation for a musical journey spanning over 50 years. Early career Robin Zander formed his own route before joining Cheap Trick as main vocalist. He was quiet but persistent, like the man. Robin stayed in the Midwest in the early 1970s because he believed music flowed from the heart, unlike many young musicians who moved to Los Angeles or New York. After graduating high school, Zander sang with local bands and became a respected vocalist. Wisconsin Dells, a prominent tourist location, offered him a permanent job in 1972. He played acoustic covers at the resort's bar nightly, equipped only with guitar and voice. No background band, no sound effects, just one man, one voice, and a room waiting for honesty. Opportunity knocked in this calm location. Rick Nielsen, Cheap Trick's guitarist and creative genius, was creating his band in Rockford, Illinois. Cheap Trick originally had Randy Hogan as main singer. Rick became convinced the band needed a powerful, emotionally engaging singer. He found a Wisconsin Dells resort cassette of Robin's singing by coincidence. After being impressed, he sought out Zander. Rick persisted despite Robin's resort performance contract. He waited a year for Zander to complete his duties and joined Cheap Trick in 1974. Robin quickly altered the band's course. He brought more than a remarkable, bright, solid, and emotional voice. He also transformed Cheap Trick's audience engagement. Rick was odd. The stoic drummer Bunny Carlos and Tom Peterson added class. But Zander, the frontman, was the emotional link between stage and crowd. He didn't shout or jump. Just singing and meaning it was enough to make him memorable. Robin Zander closed Cheap Trick's classic lineup after singing in a resort bar as a young man. It's astonishing that he stayed cool and humble while he entered the rising route of a rock band headed for success. That peaceful steadiness became part of an uncopyable personality, laying the groundwork for a 50-year adventure that captivated the globe. Successful career. When Robin Zander joined Cheap Trick in 1974, the band was still unknown in the Midwest, playing original songs and a few covers in small clubs, fairs, and on unknown stages. But a few years later, that same band, with Zander as its lead singer, would become an international phenomenon, sparking a new wave of powerful, catchy, and intensely emotional rock. Rock music changed in the 1970s. While the Sex Pistols and disco ruled the airwaves, Cheap Trick took a different course. Power pop. A mix of catchy pop and rock energy. Robin Zander's voice sealed this union. In one voice, he could be kind like McCartney, defiant like Lennon, and urgent like Roger Daltrey. Cheap Trick broke out in Japan in 1978 after 3 moderately successful US studio albums. Tokyo's Nippon Budokan, usually used for martial arts ceremonies, hosted their live presentation. No one anticipated Cheap Trick at Budokan to be one of the best live rock recordings. I Want You to Want Me, once considered too pop in the studio, became a hit live. Zander began the song with an unplanned phrase, "I want you to desire me," drawn out like a challenge, but with desperation. The world was enthralled instantaneously. The song reached the Billboard Top 10, launching a streak of singles. Surrender, Dream Police, Voices, Worldview. Despite lineup changes, Cheap Trick remained popular in the 1980s. They had their first #1 with an outside songwriter's mournful ballad, The Flame, in 1988. Robin Zander performed it as if the pain were his own, shaking and shattering at dramatic peaks, leaving audiences speechless and captivated. No band members were era heartthrobs. Robin Zander, with his long blonde hair, black and white outfit, and fierce look, inspired a new frontman, someone who was sincere yet not excessive. He rarely performed feats or spoke on stage. He stood, sang, and let the music take over. Cheap Trick's career was not always successful. The 1990s were difficult. Grunge and alternative rock ruled the charts. Even as trends changed, Cheap Trick stuck to their sound. No matter his image, Robin Zander didn't follow technology or give up. He kept singing and performing, silently becoming an idol for pure rock fans. After 40 years, Cheap Trick was elected into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016. Zander didn't speak much on stage. He just thanked the fans who supported them from Budokan to Madison Square Garden, from small studios to the world's largest musical theaters. After 20 studio albums, thousands of appearances, and millions of hearts touched, Robin Zander stood at the center, with a voice that wasn't defiant to be memorable. Having one microphone and a voice that can change history without scandal or media fanfare. Career alone. Robin Zander has spent virtually his whole life with Cheap Trick, yet he craved alone time. A location without shared spotlight, band identity, or pressure to rock everything all the time. Instead of leaving Cheap Trick, he resorted to solo music, but to discover more personal sounds. While Cheap Trick was quiet in the grunge and alternative-dominated 1990s, Zander discreetly released his self-titled debut solo album, Robin Zander, in 1993. The album mixed pop music, soft rock, and deep emotional songs, unlike expectations for a rock vocalist. Some songs felt like personal confessions, others like mini-movies, showing Robin Zander's sensitive, introspective, and quietly reflective side. The record featured respected names like Mike Campbell of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Don Felder of the Eagles, indicating that Zander was not alone on this journey but didn't need to show off. Robin Zander fell short of monetary success, but critics and fans loved it because it gave a glimpse inside a man's life behind a rock stage microphone. He recorded Countryside Boulevard, a second solo album, years later but never published. Zander examined country, Americana, and folk storytelling this time. These songs were raw and American, as if Robin had left the stage to sing by himself on a porch. Although the album is only available as unofficial demos online, many fans cherish it as a rare view of Zander unedited and unadorned. Robin performed in Broadway Rock Symphony Rocktopia in 2018 with famous classical and rock musicians. He sang and performed in a symphonic setting on a stage more formal than any Cheap Trick gig for the first time, and he was entirely himself again. A calm, diligent, and emotional person. Robin Zander never left the band or sought personal fame. These projects were breaks between long verses, time to breathe, contemplate, and remember why he started making music. No scandals, enormous marketing initiatives, solo megatours, just music and a haunting voice in a roaring throng or a lonely corner. Rumors and disputes. Over 5 decades on the rock stage, Robin Zander has rarely caused controversy. Personal scandals, surprising utterances, and media firestorms have never plagued him. That doesn't mean his journey has been easy. Even the quietest man can get caught in undercurrents, like Zander. His biggest career controversy came from Cheap Trick. Bunny Carlos, a key member of the band's classic lineup, discontinued performing live in 2010. The band stated he remained a member, but replacing Carlos on stage drew criticism. When Carlos sued the band, including Zander, in 2013, he claimed he was being isolated from band activities, denied profit shares, and deprived of company control. It was one of Robin Zander's unusual public legal disputes. He didn't lash out or quarrel in the press. His sole remark was in 2015 after the case was resolved discreetly. Worked out. No problems. Zander's serenity didn't erase the fans, but it represented his conflict resolution style. Zero drama or public backlash. Just forwarding. Besides internal strife, Zander has been the subject of bizarre rumors, most of them praising his skill. Some critics believe he employs auto-tune or lip-syncs live due to his thousand-voiced voice. If anything, anyone who's seen him live at the mic can confirm it. Even more raw and powerful than in studio. Zander never defended himself. He sings and proves with his voice. In 2016, Cheap Trick was supposedly invited to perform at the Republican National Convention, prompting half-jokes and half-truths about Zander. One interview said the band turned down $100,000 with the ironic condition, "We'll do it if we can wear swastikas." A politically charged comment. Zander smiled and said without explanation. Typical Robin Zander. No ranting, no lecturing, but you know his position. For another artist, long quiet may indicate a lack of personality. Robin Zander views it as a lifestyle. Tranquil life and rocks chaos. He doesn't avoid controversy, he just doesn't stoke it. That may be why Robin remains unshaken and undeterred, a constant that rock and roll needs to maintain its soulful core. Personal life. Robin Zander is an anomaly amid rock's cacophony. No scandals, tabloid love relationships, messy divorces, or child-related headlines. As the frontman of a world-famous rock band, he has kept a quiet, steady, private life, just like he has sung for over 50 years. Robin married Playboy's Playmate of the Month Pamela Stein in November 1987. Robin's romance lasted longer than most musicians after the spotlight faded. He and Pamela have been together for decades, defying every music industry star marital cliché. Their 4 children include Robin Taylor Zander, their eldest, who entered the music industry like his father. Cheap Trick has even had Robin Taylor fill in for guitar and vocal duties on important tours. The two perform as kindred artists, linked in their passion of music and workmanship. Amazingly, Robin Zander, the voice of the American Beatles, has never been carried up in celebrity culture. He's not known for drunken stage antics, nightclub fights, or headline-grabbing statements. He speaks concisely, clearly, and modestly in interviews, as if to explain only what is necessary to be understood. Family has always been Zander's cornerstone. He stated he would have likely been a teacher or lived a calm Midwest existence if he hadn't been a musician. That was no small comment. It shows him as a superb artist who never sacrificed family for popularity. While many of his contemporaries have fallen to drugs, grief, or disillusionment, Robin Zander is still singing, coming home for supper with his wife and kids, and teaching his son guitar, as if he never left that modest house in Love's Park. Gentle but strong, modest but admired. Robin Zander's personal life isn't tabloid. It's a testament to living a grounded, beautiful life in rock and roll's turbulent times. Legacy and influence. Robin Zander is rarely included in lists of the greatest vocalists. He wasn't a fashion icon, didn't create pop culture slogans, and didn't need to be as flashy as Freddie Mercury or controversial as Axl Rose to be remembered. Robin Zander is one of the most reliable voices in modern rock history for people who listen with their hearts, not their heads. Zander shaped Cheap Trick's rock, power pop, emotionally resonant, high energy, and timeless sound as their main vocalist for almost 50 years. Cheap Trick's expressive tenor vocal enabled him to bridge the lyrical attractiveness of 1960s bands like the Beatles, the rebellious spirit of late 70s punk, and the commercial success of 1980s hard rock. Few bands have stayed that versatile without losing their identity, and Robin Zander's vocal maintained Cheap Trick in the public's mind. Zander could seamlessly go from Dream Police's hard-hitting energy to the Flames' heartbreaking softness. His voice was never used to demonstrate technique throughout his career. It always expressed emotion. He has inspired generations of artists not for his loudness but for his dependability. Despite their varied paths, Joe Elliott of Def Leppard, Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, and Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam have all acknowledged Zander's impact. Robin Zander represents perseverance to fans. Cheap Trick has released new albums, toured, and performed when numerous bands have broken up and rejoined. They were late but well-deservedly inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016. When Zander accepted the award on stage, it wasn't simply for the band. It honored an artist who lived quietly. While Robin Zander has box office records and multi-platinum music sales, those aren't his legacy. His legacy is this. A timeless voice endures in a music world influenced by trends and algorithms. A voice that takes us back to when we lived honestly, loved fully, and believed that real music never aged. I Want You to Want Me is imprinted into the memory of anyone who has ever stood still, and sometimes that's all it takes to stay forever. Robin Zander is a legend. Present. Robin Zander doesn't think getting 70 implies slowing down. He has been touring the US with Cheap Trick in recent years, providing an enthusiasm that would make many younger artists bow. The band continued its steady progression in 2024. In late December, Cheap Trick performed at Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut and Riverside Casino and Golf Resort in Iowa, ending the musical year with a determination. Zander had a powerful performing presence, a deep voice, a calm manner, and a quietly engaging way of connecting with audiences with a solid handshake and a gentle grin, like an old friend you've been longing to see again. Robin Zander maintains his routine in 2025, entering the stage, singing, and letting the music speak. In February, he appeared in Las Vegas in a spotless white suit, looking at the audience as if to say, "I'm still here and singing for you." On March 31st, Cheap Trick and Heart played in Buffalo, New York. The concert was more than a reunion of two rock stars. It had personal significance. While both of Zander's sons sang and played instruments on stage. At that point, music became a shared inheritance between generations, not only from father to son. Zander and Cheap Trick continued their 50th anniversary tour in Texas on April 17th. No big ceremony or festival, just a calm, strong statement from the stage. Never stop recording. We tour constantly. They kept their promise. The Zander name is present outside the band. His Missouri-based son, Robin Taylor Zander, hosts acoustic events and supports Cheap Trick at large concerts. Mentorship or fatherhood aren't forced. Robin allows his son pursue his own music, as he did. Robin Zander is Cheap Trick's heart and a symbol of stability, dedication, and music passion. He's led the band through more than 50 years. His bright, powerful, and rich voice has kept the music alive throughout rock's stormy waves. For each new generation of listeners, Zander has kept the flame blazing and rejuvenated it with albums like I Want You to Want Me, Surrender, and In Another World. But his legacy goes beyond music. A man who prioritizes family, generosity, and lasting ideals is behind the stage lights. He's avoided rock's mayhem by living discreetly, raising his children, and performing for love of music, not fame. The small stories, like waiting a year to join the band or performing with his son, highlight Robin Zander's significance without noise. As he performs in his 70s, Zander illustrates that passion can survive age and that being an artist doesn't imply being flamboyant, but staying true to yourself. His career shows that quiet voices may inspire us. Instead of being at the center of the storm, Robin Zander will always be remembered for keeping the flame alive when others faded. A musician who lived fully sung from the heart and left an irreplaceable impression on his fans, rock and roll history, and the legacy of voices that never needed to yell. Robin Zander's subtle yet consistent musical journey. What do you think? Which of his songs brings back memories? Leave a comment and like and subscribe to join us as we explore the stories of music giants that never gave up. Thanks for watching. See you later.